Hello, boys and girls. It's so nice to see you. Today, we are going to read The Paper Bag Princess, one of my all-time favorite books by one of my all-time favorite writers, Robert Munsch. This book was illustrated by Michael Marchenko. Here's the Paper Bag Princess and, of course, the dragon. Are you ready to read? Elizabeth was a beautiful princess. She lived in a castle and had expensive princess clothes. She was going to marry a prince named Ronald. And here they are. There's Elizabeth. She's in love. You can tell by all the hearts. But I don't know about Ronald here. He doesn't look too interested, does he? I'm not sure I like him. What about you? Unfortunately, a dragon smashed her castle, burned all her clothes with his fiery breath, and carried off Prince Ronald. Oh my! Everything's burned, she's got nothing, and there goes Prince Ronald! Elizabeth decided to chase the dragon and get Ronald back. She looked everywhere for something to wear, but the only thing she could find that was not burnt was a paper bag. So she put on the paper bag and followed the dragon. He was easy to follow because he left a trail of burnt forests and horses' bones. Burnt forests and horses' bones? Okay. Finally, Elizabeth came to a cave with a large door that had a huge knocker on it. She took hold of the knocker and banged on the door. The dragon stuck his nose out of the door and said, "Ha! Well, a princess! I love to eat princesses, but I have already eaten a whole castle today. I am a very busy dragon. Come back tomorrow." He slammed the door so fast that Elizabeth almost got her nose caught. That's not a very nice dragon, is he? Of course, I don't think dragons are supposed to be nice, are they? Elizabeth grabbed the knocker and banged on the door again. The dragon stuck his nose out of the door and said, "Go away. I love to eat princesses, but I have already eaten a whole castle today. I am a very busy dragon. Come back tomorrow." "Wait!" shouted Elizabeth. "Is it true that you are the smartest and fiercest dragon in the whole world?" "Yes," said the dragon. "She's pretty smart, isn't she?" "Is it true," said Elizabeth, "that you can burn up 10 forests with your fiery breath?" "Oh, yes, said the dragon. And he took a huge, deep breath and breathed out so much fire that he burnt up 50 forests. Wow, that's a lot of fire. Fantastic, said Elizabeth. And the dragon took another huge breath and breathed out so much fire that he burnt up 100 forests. Magnificent, said Elizabeth. And the dragon took another huge breath, but this time nothing came out. The dragon didn't even have enough fire left to cook a meatball. Elizabeth said, "Dragon, is it true that you can fly around the world in just 10 seconds? Why, yes, said the dragon, and jumped up and flew all the way around the world in just 10 seconds. He was very tired when he got back, but Elizabeth shouted, "Fantastic! Do it again!" I like this Elizabeth. I think she's pretty smart. So the dragon jumped up and flew around the world in just 20 seconds. Ha, a little longer. When he got back, he was too tired to talk, and he lay down and went straight to sleep. She wore him out. Elizabeth whispered very softly, "Hey, dragon." The dragon didn't move at all. She lifted up the dragon's ear and put her head right inside. She shouted as loud as she could, "Hey, dragon!" The dragon was so tired, he didn't even move. Way to go, Elizabeth. Elizabeth walked right over the dragon and opened the door to the cave. There was Prince Ronald. He looked at her and said, "Elizabeth, you are a mess. You smell like ashes, your hair is all tangled, and you are wearing a dirty old paper bag. Come back when you are dressed like a real princess." "Ronald, get a clue." "Ronald," said Elizabeth, "your clothes are really pretty, and your hair is very neat. You look like a real prince, but you are a bum." They didn't get married after all. And Elizabeth lived happily ever after. Yay! Don't you love this story? I do. This is a classic Munsch book. He's written many classic stories that I love, as well as many other people love. Now, paper bag, that's interesting. Elizabeth had to wear a paper bag for a dress, because that was all she had after the fire, right? But what else can you do with a paper bag? This is my paper bag from my grocery store. This is a big one. This may be the size Elizabeth wore if she were a little person. But what do you do with paper bags? When I was a little girl, I would carry my lunch to school in a paper bag. We carry things in paper bags. Do you carry anything in a paper bag? What is it? Yeah! Paper bags are very handy for carrying things, aren't they? Another thing that paper bags are good for is to store things if you want to keep something for a little while, like snacks. These paper bags have a window, but they don't need a window. You can store cereal or snacks or cookies or crayons if you want to put them away for a while. What could you store in a paper bag? I agree. I think those are great ideas. I agree. Paper bags are good for storing things. When I was young, we used to use paper bags to make book covers. We'd get a big paper bag, like this one, and we'd cut it up. Once the day we got our textbooks at school, we'd bring our textbooks home, get our paper bags, and we'd cut them up and line them up and cover our books with book covers. Use the paper bags to make book covers. We had them at the house. They were very handy. And then we would draw on the books. On the outside of our book covers, we could draw on them all year long and nobody cared because we didn't hurt the books. And they kept our books safe. And another thing we can do with paper bags is make puppets. You can use crayons or colored paper and scissors and glue and make hand puppets. You put your hand up in there and make your puppets talk, and your friend makes a puppet and you make a puppet, and then your puppets can talk to each other. That's fun too. Well, I hope you enjoyed this book, boys and girls. The Paper Bag Princess, one of my favorites. I hope you liked it as well. See you next time. Bye-bye.